Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know him. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go. Who the hell is he? He never really.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
At Farm Bureau, protecting what matters most.
If you jump into a race and you haven't paid the entry fee,
if you just hop in and you don't have a bib number and you just run with it illegally,
that's called being a bandit.
The Charge Bandit is the first stability offering in our Run Long segment.
we have the armor vent and the 4-foot maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
This shoe provides a light stability platform for the runner.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product, it's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
If you jump into a entry fee,
and you don't have a big number,
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Yours with your friends and family. Camping World
Long segment.
we have the armor vent and the 4-foot maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
At center field. Batting fifth is number 33, Christian Johnson, the right fielder. Batting sixth, number 17, Gavin Sackett. He is the designated hitter tonight for the Premier West Cardinals. Batting seventh is number 15, Barrick McCann. Defensively, he's positioned at first base. Batting eighth is number 22, Brandon Barringer. Yesterday, he was the DH. Today, he will be backstopping for our starting pitcher. And rounding out the batting order in the ninth spot is number 13, Hunter Stevens. He is in left field. The starting pitcher was yesterday's starting third baseman, Nate Kujawski, and he will face the post-22 batting order that is as follows to bat in the bottom halves of the 7 innings we will play today. Leading off, as always now, is number 22, Cooper Bowman. Defensively, he is positioned at shortstop. Batting second is number 17, Sam Hay. He will be the designated hitter for the first of 2 games to be played today. Batting third is the heavy bat of Zach Solano with 13 on his back. Center field, his designated defensive position. And in the cleanup spot is the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers. Number 27 on his back. He'll be playing at first base. Batting fifth is number 23, Eric Petrie. He's positioned out in right field today. Batting sixth is number 21, Timmy Paris. He will backstop for our starting pitcher, Colton Sherbinsky. Batting seventh is number 20, Cam Fees, and he is out in left field. Batting eighth is number 10, Riley McSherry, defensively positioned at second. And as always, rounding out the batting order is number 14, Justin Kramer. playing in the hot corner at third. And as we mentioned, Colton Sherbinsky gets the start today. 18 1/3 innings of work so far. This will be the 6th game that he has played this season, 5th by virtue of a start. He has a 2-1 record, 19 strikeouts to 17 walks, and as Teddy mentioned, a very solid 1.909 ERA under his belt.
Yeah, and this is going to be a very tough test here for Cole on the mound. This is, like we said earlier, it's going to be the hardest team that he has faced, and you really want to see him take that step forward. We've seen him take that step from the bullpen, really embrace his starting role early on, and ultimately gain a spot in this rotation. But a part of that as well is playing against good teams like this Premier West team, and you're probably not going to see a performance like Cody Carlson. That's huge. If you can repeat that, that's going to be amazing, and I'm going to go wild. But in all likelihood, to be realistic, you probably won't see that. So you want to see how he reacts when he gets into these situations, when you have a guy on third or a guy on second and third, men in scoring position. How is he going to handle against a good team? We've seen him against very solid teams, but nothing like this Premier West team. So it's going to be fun to watch Sherbinsky work, and if he's on tonight, he's going to be real hard to hit.
Last thought as the Hardhats are being introduced out onto the field here, Teddy. You also heard it from Coach Messer that he wants his batters in this game to make adjustments, not only heading into this game, but also as the game progresses. As a hitter that was very good yourself, how do you go about making adjustments as the game progresses?
Well, one of the adjustments, and Coach Messer and I kind of talked about it earlier, it's taking the pitches and you doing what the pitcher gives you. If he's throwing on the outside part of the plate going from you got to take him to right field. You can't try and pull the ball. If you try to pull the ball, it's going to be a ground ball to third base every single time. So you got to take what the pitcher's giving you. If he's trying to jam you up, then you try and pull the ball. You stay inside of it. That's the adjustments that he's talking about. You don't want to go up with a predisposed mindset that you're going to pull this ball over the left field fence and then get a ball on the lower outside part of the plate and ground it every single time. So those are the adjustments that he's talking about in game to not go up looking for something, but allow the pitches to come to you, and then don't try to do too much. Just take what the pitcher gives you and rely on your fundamentals and your skills in the box to get you on base and to get you those hits.
That'll do it for our pregame coverage, folks. National anthem coming up. We'll be right back with first pitch. The Premier West Cardinals and your Post 22 Hardhats take battle in first of 2 games of this doubleheader. We're on ESPN Radio, Rapid City. We'll be right back after this in just a few moments. on the season with a 462 on base percentage.
It's absolutely. That just shows how good this kid really is at the plate and in the field, is the fact that he can still bat with such a high average and be able to still be in a slump, yet he's still batting around 400.
His next pitch is pulled foul. So quickly, he's behind, no balls and 2 strikes.
Almost had my computer broken.
For those that heard the bull in the china shop sound effect behind us, that was one of the windows flying right off. Next pitch gets away from both Solano and Barringer behind the plate. And that's going to allow Cooper Bowman to advance to third. So now the count goes to ball and 2 strikes to Zach Solano. And now Solano, on a sac fly, could score the first run of the game. And that would be Cooper Bowman from third.
Be huge. Both runs, the only 2 runs of the game, were scored in that the bottom of the first inning yesterday. So you want to get Cooper Bowman across the plate right now.
1-2 is swung on and hit to short. Stops made by Cook. Throw to first is in time, but Cooper Bowman sprints from third to home. It's an RBI 6-3 ground out for Zach Solano, and with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, the Hardhats now have a 1-0 lead.
Nice job there by Solano, making contact with it, able to get that ball in play in the middle infield, get that RBI. He leads this team in RBIs with now 27 on the season. So he definitely bats a lot of runs in, but you'd still like to see him get on base. And now Vickers at the plate looking to try and get a 2-out rally started for his team.
Matt Vickers has the best batting average on the team, only slightly ahead of Eric Petrie with a 477. Looks at strike 1 on the outside corner, and the 0-1 skips in the dirt to quickly even things at a ball and a strike. Reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year is Matt Vickers, 477 batting average, 544 on base percentage. This is the 20th game out of now 22 in which he will take the batter's box. Pitch goes outside, and that'll push Vickers' count to 2 balls and a strike. Should Vickers safely get on the base path, the gentleman we were just talking about, Eric Petrie's on deck. Issued a free pass to first.
Very disciplined here at the plate is Matt Vickers. He's walked 10 times on the season, and you're not going to get him to cheat at anything out of the zone.
Next pitch is fouled just barely by Vickers, and the count will now push full. It's our first payoff pitch scenario of this entire game here. With nobody on the base path, 2 outs in the bottom of the first, and the Hardhats already have a 1-0 lead. Payoff pitch comes from Kujawski to Vickers, and it rides way high and outside for ball 4. So Matt Vickers is issued a free pass to first. The base path still with 2 outs here in the bottom. As I mentioned, just barely trails Vickers. For the best batting average on the team, Vickers at 470. So we're going to have a conference on the mound.
Yeah, and Petrie, who got the lone RBI in yesterday's game in a single in his first at bat. Did something get some from you on the mound with trying to calm him down a little bit. Both base runners have been issued passes, one by walk and Cooper team. So now Petrie's looking to break that tie.
For us, we're in Trubinsky to Behringer.
And that's one of the places that's given him so much success, that low outside part of the plate. Riley McSherry needs to be ready. If he stops punching these guys out, he'll get a lot of ground balls, but Trubinsky's finding so much success out there, and he's gonna definitely recognize that and stick out there for a lot of this game.
2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Ball was dropped. Timmy Paris gets it. Throw to first is in time. 5th strikeout of the game for Colton Trubinsky. It's a K2-3 in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats defensively, and that brings up Hunter Stevens, who needs to try and right this ship for the Premier West Cardinals. 4 batters in a row have been rung up.
And Trubinsky, that breaking ball is what's absolutely just doing damage so much for this young man on the mound. That pitch, of course, in the dirt, and Behringer unable to pick up that spin as it just plummeted down in the zone. And that was a heck of a pitch and a heck of a location for Trubinsky to get that 4th consecutive and 5 overall strikeout.
First pitch to Stevens is fouled first base side into the grandstand. 0-1 starting count. Stevens yesterday again was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He's trying to fix his woes at the plate. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and lined into left field. Cam Fees can't get to it, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Fees, however, does field it, and he throws it into second, and Riley McSherry will make the catch. First hit of the ballgame for Premier West, and it came to the 9-hole hitter after 8 straight had been retired. So there's a man on first with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning, and that's going to bring us back to the top of the order to Miguel Marquez.
And that's tough. You wanted to see another 1-2-3 inning and get through that first part of the lineup, but Miguel Marquez, the first strikeout victim of Colton Trubinsky in this game. So you still, with 2 outs here, in good position. Got to keep an eye on Stevens at first base. Try to keep him close. Don't want to allow him to get second base.
First pitch to Marquez is in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike to starting count to Marquez, who, again, as Teddy mentioned, was the first strikeout victim of the day out of now 5 for Trubinsky. Struck out on a 1-2 count swinging. That started off the entire ballgame. Trubinsky checked down to first, not there in time. He's trying again, as Teddy mentioned, to keep Stevens to the bag. Trubinsky, as a right-handed pitcher, it's tough to get that pickoff move, but he just makes it look easy.
Yeah, that pickoff move to first, of course, you have to turn. Your back's already towards first, and you got to step off with that right foot before anything. So Trubinsky has such good footwork.
Next pitch is swung on and hit to second. McSherry gets it on the hop. Throw to first is in time, and that's going to do it. The Hardhats keep Premier West off the board once again. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on the base path. At the end of 2.5 innings, the Hardhats still have their 2-0 lead intact. We go now to the bottom half of the 3rd. And due up for the Hardhats are Sam Haig, Zach Solano, and Matt Vickers. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
What's up?
This is Mark.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark, the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help.
Yeah, technical difficulties there, folks. We were trying desperately to figure out what exactly was going on with our internet connection. But what we do know right now is that after trying to get all this fixed, Eric Petrie just hit an RBI double. And the Hardhats now have a 3-0 lead with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third inning. We apologize for the inconvenience there. Internet here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium just kind of left for a bit. I guess probably to go get some concessions or go to Catch 22 and get some gear. I don't know. So now here comes Timmy Paris with a man on second, 2 outs, and his first pitch is fouled. That goes first base side and out of play. 0-1 the starting count to Timmy Paris, who went 0 for 1 in this game so far.
Quick rundown of this inning. Sam Haig led it off 5-3, put out for the first out. Solano reached on an error on the third baseman, and then Matt Vickers sacrificed him over to second base. And, of course, we came back in with that Eric Petrie RBI double to give that lead 3-0, and 1 run in each of the bottom of these innings. And the Hardhat offense, like we said, it's starting to really pick up, and we thought it'd be more offensively minded here today.
Ian Frazier is still on the mound, and again, he came in relief of Nate Kajowski, who only went 1 inning. And the next pitch that he deals to Timmy Paris is high and inside for ball 1. 1-1 the count here to Paris, who has Eric Petrie standing on second base. As Teddy likes to say, he's looking to switch positions with him. Here comes the 1-1, and that rides for strike 2, just barely in the zone. Ball and 2 strikes to count.
Well, I was writing down a ball in my book. That was way high and outside. I
completely agree.
I don't know how that caught the zone, but that umpire behind the plate, he's the law down there on that diamond. So 1-2 count. Now Timmy Paris has to look to protect.
Paris turns on that next pitch, and he hits it high and far, but just foul. Left field side. And the count will hold at a ball and 2 strikes. Absolutely torched that ball.
Oh, yeah, it was far. It wasn't too high, but it was just tattooed out of the batter's box, and just turned on that a little too much. But you're going to think Frazier's not going to give him anything over the inside part of the plate for him to turn on once again, because he got around on that and got every part of that ball.
1-2 to Paris, caught him looking, strike 3, and that will end the bottom half of the third inning. Well, the Hardhats do plate 1 more run on 1 hit with 1 defensive blemish from Premier West. 1 man left on the base path that he was in scoring position. At the end of 3 full innings of play, the Hardhats have now seen their lead triple. 3-0 is now the score. To the top half of the fourth we go. Colton Trubinsky will face 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Jimmy LeConte, Billy Cook, and Tanner Garner, all of which are a combined 0 for 3 against the Hardhats starter. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door,
Three innings in the books here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Statistically across the board for the Premier West Cardinals from Denver, Colorado, it's no runs on a hit and 2 errors in the field. For the Hardhats, it's 3 runs on 3 hits, not a single blemish defensively. Colton Trubinsky will face Jimmy LeConte, 0 for 1, Billy Cook 0 for 1, and Tanner Garner 0 for 1. I see a repeating theme here. First pitch to LeConte, swung on it, hit hard in the air to right center field. Underneath it, though, Zach Solano, and he is there to make the catch. 1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch for the Hardhats defensively, and that'll bring us to Billy Cook, who grounded out to Cooper Bowman last time he was up.
Oh, man, what can you say anymore about Colton Trubinsky? He's got the strikeouts, he's throwing the strikes, and he's done it all on 35 pitches through 3 1/3. So he is just being efficient today. we keep spotlighting him because he's just carrying this team and throwing only a one-hitter so far. He's doing everything in his power, and it's really working for him.
First pitch to Billy Cook is in there for strike one. 0-1 the count. Here comes the 0-1 from Sherbinski, and that one's hit to second. McSherry gets the scoop toss to first, is in time. Quickly on 3 pitches, 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats defensively here in the top of the 4th, and that brings us to Tanner Garner.
Yeah, that's how you do it. And I said that Sherbinski's going to be living on that outside part of the plate against these right-handers, and he's going to get a lot of ground balls to Riley McSherry over there at second base. So now he has a couple in the last 2 innings. So McSherry busy over there, and it's nice to see him really settling into that second baseman spot and doing well. But Sherbinski's getting back to work and trying to get a couple more batters here at the plate before this game's all said and done.
First pitch to Garner is in there for strike one. 0-1 his starting count. Tanner Garner, last time he was up, lined out to Cooper Bowman, and what a catch that was. Here comes the 0-1. That rides a little high and inside for the umpire's taste. The ball and a strike now the count.
And Barner, who didn't play yesterday, and that great play by Cooper Bowman that you brought up, that could have been the first hit of the game, but robbed it and gave it a couple more innings away.
Next pitch is fouled, and that goes out of play. Ball and 2 strikes now the count to Tanner Garner. Colton Sherbinski is 1 pitch away from what would be strikeout number 6, and is also 1 pitch away from issuing the third 1-2-3 inning out of 4 that have been played defensively for the Hardhats.
And coming into this game, he's only had 1-1-2-3 inning up to this point in the 18 1/3 that he's pitched. So he's working and doing well today.
1-2 misses high and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count from Sherbinski to Garner. Should Garner safely get on the base path, Christian Johnson's on deck. He was strikeout victim number 2 out of 5 for Sherbinski.
And he was the start of 4 consecutive strikeouts from Johnson, Scarlett, McCann, and Behringer.
Next pitch rides high and outside again. 3 balls, 2 strikes now the count. And if my memory serves me correct, this is his first payoff pitch of the game.
Absolutely. He's done well staying out of these full counts. You don't like to get in full counts because that's 5 straight pitches, at minimum 6 in an at-bat, so you never want that. But Sherbinski has done a very good job staying out of this full count scenario.
Payoff pitch, swung on and ripped up the middle and into center field for a base hit. So it's the first hit of the inning for the Premier West Cardinals, and Tanner Garner, the center fielder, gets on first. Still 2 men down, and that's going to bring up Christian Johnson, who struck out last time he was up.
Yeah, just stayed inside that pitch. Sherbinski tried to go low and inside with that fastball, and Garner just kept his hands inside, shortened up his swing, and poked it right back up the middle for a base hit. Once again, not much of really anything that's too alarming right there. It's only the second hit allowed by Sherbinski, and with 2 outs in the inning, you can almost forget about him on first base. Just try to keep him close, and there's that check down, trying to keep him close, almost on cue there from Sherbinski, and you don't want to allow him to get in a scoring position with a stolen base.
Okay, I'll spot you a couple of clairvoyance points there. It is your birthday after all.
Oh, man.
Still have yet to see a first pitch thrown to Christian Johnson. He struck out on 3 straight last time he was up.
3 consecutive batters struck out on 3 straight pitches. That's doing something right.
First pitch to Johnson. Breaking balls in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike to starting count. Should Johnson safely get on the base path, Gavin Sackett is on deck. And like Teddy had mentioned, Johnson started off the string of 4 consecutive strikeouts. So, using that logic, Sackett is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Here comes the 0-1. That misses low, and the count will even out to a ball and a strike.
And I want to give Timmy Paris a lot of credit here right now, too. He's calling a heck of a game. You start off, Johnson, with that breaking ball. That's not a pitch you usually start your sequence of pitches with, that big breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. That could be hit far if you elevate it, but Sherbinski's locating it well, keeping it down. But Timmy Paris is also calling a very good game for his pitcher. These two are working very well today.
1-1. Runner goes. Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air, but foul and out of play. And quickly the count balloons to a ball and 2 strikes. So Tanner Garner will have to retreat back to first. He tried taking off for second on the pitch.
Exactly what I was saying. Got to keep him close over there. You don't want to allow him to get into scoring position on a stolen base. So You got to think Sherbinski now, he saw that he was definitely going, and he's going to be keeping an eye on him, trying to keep him close and not allowing him to get into scoring position. But got to be careful. Timmy Paris has an absolute cannon behind the plate. So Garner could be playing with a little fire there on first base.
Here comes the 1-2. Caught him looking, strike 3, low and away, and that is going to do it. He has struck out Christian Johnson both times he's been up, and that is now K number 6 in the scorebook for Colton Sherbinski, just rolling in this start. No runs, a hit, no errors, one man left on the base path, and at the end of 3.5 innings, the Hardhats yet again have preserved their 3-0 lead. And back to the sticks they go now for the bottom half of the 4th inning. Due up, Cam Fees, Riley McSherry, and Justin Kramer. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
You need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is presented in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, Courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. So now we go back to the bottom half of this 4th inning here. Hardhats have a 3-0 lead protected. Now they're looking to expand upon it. After 3.5 innings statistically across the board, it's Premier West, no runs on 2 hits with 2 errors in the field. For the Hardhats, it's 3 runs on 3 hits and not a single blemish defensively. Cam Fees leads off the bottom half of the 4th inning. He's 0 for 1. One of only 2 strikeouts issued from Ian Frazier in relief of Nate Kajowski. They're also the only 2 strikeouts of the game from Premier West pitching. First pitch to Fees is swung on and ripped up the third base line. That's a base hit, and that's going all the way to the corner. Fees turns from first. He is going all the way to second, and he will stay there with a leadoff stand-up double. Leadoff man is in scoring position for the Hardhats here in the bottom of the 4th, and that's going to bring up Riley McSherry with a chance to knock in the speedster at Camp Fees.
That was huge. That was a huge at-bat. He jumped on that low inside fastball, the very first pitch he saw, and took it right down the line at third base. That's where a lot of these hitters are at their best. They're taught to pull the ball if it's on the inside part, and a lot of these hitters are so very good at that. Cam Fees, definitely one of those, and now 1 for 2 with the double and in scoring position here for Riley McSherry, who has to double himself in his first at bat.
McSherry tried to lay down the bunt, and he crossed home plate in doing so and missed. No balls and a strike to starting count here to McSherry. Tried to catch the infield asleep there, and we know he can bunt for a hit.
Yeah, he was trying to get that push bunt down the first base side and trying to allow Fees to get over to third base with no problem. That's why you want to bunt down that first base side.
0-1, the bunt is popped up. Luckily, though, nobody's going to catch it as that goes foul and out of play. So unless McSherry's feeling lucky, the bunt probably out of the question here with an 0-2 count.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that he's going to swing away, and normally a very, very good bunter. I guarantee if he has another opportunity to bunt in this game, he'll probably get it down. So now he gets to swing away, and you just don't want him to get this out at the plate. You want him to try to put it in play and advance Fees.
0-2 is ripped foul, and that goes first base side and out of play. And the count will hold to no balls and 2 strikes for McSherry, with Justin Kramer patiently waiting on deck.
Yeah, and Justin Kramer also 1 for 1, but he has that RBI single that drove in McSherry after that big double. So McSherry in a hole right now, but still he's been working on his swing and gotten so much better as a hitter these last few games.
0-2 to McSherry. Caught him looking, strike 3 on the outside corner. So McSherry goes down on strikes. That is the 3rd strikeout for Ian Frazier. In relief, all 3 of his strikeouts have been backwards Ks in the books. That's 1 down for the Hardhats, still with Cam Fees sitting on second, and now Justin Kramer's up.
Yeah, and that outside part of the plate, this umpire expands that plate a little bit to the outside, but it's for both pitchers even. It's not just for Frazier, so you can't be too upset with it. But as a hitter, you got to adjust and start taking that ball opposite field into right field if you're a right-handed hitter.
Yeah, throw your hands at the ball. Got to do what you can to protect the zone that you're given. Justin Kramer looks at ball one up high, and as Teddy mentioned, 1-for-1 with an RBI single. He has a chance to get a second RBI in the game. Tries to drop the bunt down, and he does first base side, and the ball doesn't roll foul. That is a fair ball, and Justin Kramer gets an infield bunt single. That ball tight-roped, but it didn't cross.
We're gonna see if it's an infield single. It might have hit Kramer and went down foul. So they get coaches out here trying to talk to him, trying to argue a little bit. So we'll see if Kramer is going to. And this coach is not going away. This umpire, he might get tossed here soon. The umpire's telling him to go back to the dugout, trying to discuss it. This isn't gonna be helping your team right now. They're gonna go against you if you continue to try and argue like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We have not seen this before. I'll tell you that right now. And I believe they're going to say that Justin has to come back and take the hit there. Or no, I guess not.
They're calling him out. They're calling him interference with the ball.
All right, well then he's out. And Cam Fees has to go back to second. So now Cam Fees is back on second. We have 2 outs now in the inning, and that is going to bring us back to the top of the order to Cooper Bowman. So very interesting to see what exactly happened on the field. They're saying Justin Kramer out for interference. What was a bunt single now taken away. Bowman's first pitch catches the outside part of the plate for strike one. 0-1 his starting count. He still has Cam Fees in scoring position on second, and Bowman in this game is 0-for-1. Hit by a pitch, came around to score, and then he flew out to center field last time he was up. So Bowman trying to plate Cam Fees, which would be 4 consecutive innings in this game the Hardhats have scored. 0-1. Rides a little too far inside, and the count now evens at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, and then I was correct there. It is a battery interference call that Kramer made contact with the ball in fair territory, and so that's why it was the second out right there. That's a tough break right there. That was a beautiful bunt. That was the most perfect bunt you can get, and just happened to touch it on his way outside of the box.
1-1 misses low and away. That's ball 2 now to Cooper Bowman. 2 balls and a strike to count. Bowman has Cam Fees on second with 2 outs. Here in the bottom half of the fourth, Hardhats with a 3-0 lead. Next pitch rides a little too far inside, and that'll bring the count to 3-1 now for Bowman. 1 pitch away from what would be his second free pass of the game.
Yeah, Cooper Bowman having a nice game. He did get on base 1 out of the 2 times he's been up. Technically 0-for-1, but he did score that very first run for the Hardhats, and he's looking to drive in a run now, get an RBI, and try and help his team here with Cameron Fees in scoring position there on second base.
Frazier stepped off the rubber and now goes back to it. And the next pitch is fouled. And now the count goes full for Bowman. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I might have just lost my stats. The internet's giving me problems too. I think it was because I was being confident. I was like, my internet's been fine, and it popped back up, which is good when yours quit out. So I think it was karma's coming back a little bit on me.
Next pitch missed low and away. Fees runs to third. Throw to third is not in time. They're saying that Cam Fees slid under the tag. Great stolen base for Fees. So now he is on third. And a base hit will most definitely score him now.
Yeah, that was a huge stolen base there for Cam Fees. And once again, I'd like to tell you how many that was. I believe that's 6 on the season there for Cam Fees, but of course, technology's not working with us. These computers are just not liking the heat today.
Next pitch is ripped into left field, and that is a base hit. Fees is going to score from third. Bowman is on first with a 2-out RBI single, and the Hardhats now have a 4-0 lead over Premier West.
Huge right there, trying to go low and inside. Frazier was trying to jam up Cooper Bowman, trying to get a swing and a miss there. That's a lot of times that pitch will be a swing and a miss, but Cooper Bowman once again stayed inside the pitch, pulled it around, and took it right over the head of Cook at shortstop into left field for that big RBI single to score Cam Fees.
And it looks like we're going to have a conference on the mound here with the head coach of Premier West and Ian Frazier on the mound. Should Frazier not be pulled, this looks like it's just going to be a conference at that point. But should Frazier pitch to this next batter, that is Sam Haig, the DH, who is 0 for 1 at a sacrifice bunt and then grounded out to third. That was back at the bottom half of the third inning when that happened.
Yeah, and Sam Haig, he's looking for a base hit here. He comes in to this game. He's having a lot of success at the plate here early on in this. Well, now we're about towards the middle part of the season. We can't quite say early on anymore, but he's having success this season, and he's looking for his first hit of the ball game and continue this 2-out rally that Cooper Bowman started one batter ago.
Sam Haig came into this game with a .320 batting average, and the first pitch that he looks at is low and away for ball 1. Want to know his starting count. Should Haig safely get on the base path, that means that Zach Solano is on deck. Solano had an RBI ground out, reached on an error, and came around to score. 1-0 rides up high, and now he's looking at a 2 balls and no strikes count.
All right, I'm going to have to delegate all the stat responsibilities over to you, Mark. I gave up on the internet here. You got the connection to the hotspot, so we're going to give that to you, and I'm just going to sit over here and just talk a little bit. Maybe ramble once or twice, but I'll just be over here providing a little analyst or a little analysis on the game.
Oh, trust me, I totally got this.
There we go.
Totally got this. 2-0 to Haig. Swung on and hit right up the middle. Stop is made. No, it's not. It kicks off of Billy Cook, and that goes into shallow right field. Haig's going to stop at first. Going to third is Cooper Bowman. So it's a costly E6 on the play that now puts men on the corners with 2 outs and brings up Zach Solano.
Yeah, and Zach Solano, this is the perfect time for him to break out of the slump that he's been in. He reached on that E5, and he does have an RBI ground out in this game, so he has production with a run scored. He does have production in this game, but he's still hitless in 3 games coming into this game. He's 0 for 2 in today's game, and he's looking to break out. And a big hit here to get another RBI was just what this young man needs to try and get himself going once again and continue this monster season that he's put together so far.
Solano looking to increase the lead. His first pitch is swung on it, hit high in the air to center. Underneath it, though, was Garner, and he makes the catch, and that is going to do it. Well, the Hardhats, for a 4th consecutive inning, plate 1 more run, and they do so on the power of 2 hits, with 1 error defensively from Premier West and 2 men left on the base path, one of which was in scoring position. At the end of 4 full innings of play, the Hardhats now have a 4-0 lead over the Premier West Cardinals and go back to their respective defensive posts. Colton Trubinsky back on the bump will face Gavin Sackett, the DH, Barrick McCann, the first baseman, and Brandon Barringer, the catcher. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your...
On June 27th, if you don't have any plans, then you need to make them now, because the Post 22 Hardhats will put on their 4th annual auction at Rushmore Plaza Civic Center, and Teddy and myself have been trusted with microphones to MC the event. I don't know about you, Teddy, but may God help us all, right?
Oh, no, it's going to be a blast. I'm still questioning why they'll give you one to public speak.
Hey,
on play-by-play, you're good, but I don't know. This will be tough, but I'm going to come, and I'm gonna really bring my A game for this one.
I'll tell you what. How about UMC and I call play-by-play of UMC?
That sounds like a pretty good plan. We'll have it both, and we'll stream it. We'll get Ben there, and he'll stream it, and it'll be like we're doing a game.
I think I think these ideas of too worthy of gong show status, I don't think ESPN would pick it up.
Yeah, so. I doubt they would, and I don't think the coaching staff and of course Coach Mitch Messer would appreciate it too much. He just wants us to do our jobs.
First pitch of the inning comes to Gavin Sackett. It's hit right to Matt Vickers, and he says, guys, I've got this myself, and touches first base. One pitch, one up, one down on a 3 unassisted putout, and that's going to bring us to Barrick McCann. So Gavin Sackett came into his at-bat 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Barrick McCann does the exact same 0 for 1 with a strikeout under his belt.
I'm running out of good things to say about Colton Sherbinski here today. He is pitching an absolute gem. He's looking the best that we've seen him yet this season, and he's continuing it into the 5th inning. We know he has the arm to go the distance, but he's still just dominant. Not just staying in there. He's dominant.
First pitch to Barrick McCann is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Sherbinski goes right back to it and deals the 0-1. And that is in there for strike 2 on the inside part of the plate. And quickly, Sherbinski ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Just rolling. You know, that's a good problem to have when you're running out of good things to say.
Absolutely. And look for this big breaking ball here. McCann's had trouble with his struck out on it last time, so I think it's coming again.
0-2 is swung on and hit to short. Bowman gets it on the hop, throw to first in time. 6-3 now in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats, and that's going to bring us to Brandon Barringer, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a K2-3 in the scorebook.
Oh, man. Jesus, weak hit ground balls. There's only been the 2 hits. Of course, they left the infield, just line drives right over the head, just short bloopers into the shallow, and then 1 fly ball to this outfield. They must be getting bored out there because Sherbinski is pitching so well, keeping the ball on the ground. Definitely a ground ball pitcher. Anyway, I'd give you statistics, but I'm out of them. But we know he's a ground ball pitcher, and he's getting a lot of ground outs here today, too.
First pitch to Barringer is fouled off for strike 1. That goes third base side out of play. No balls at a strike, the starting count to Barringer. He struck out the last time he was up, but the ball was dropped. So Timmy Paris was involved. It ended up hooking up with Matt Vickers to register the out. Sherbinski has 6 strikeouts in this start. Deals his 0-1. And that skips low and away for a ball and a strike. Just an absolute gem.
Yeah, and what's given him so much success is he's throwing strikes. That's the first ball thrown this inning. And he's been throwing strikes against every batter, no matter what. You're flip the lineup over. Now, the second time through, you think these hitters might figure them out, make some adjustments, but he's throwing them off because he's throwing off his sequence, and he's changing the eye levels of hitters, going inside, outside, up, down, north, south. He's just keeping them guessing out there.
Next pitch rides high and then goes off the glove of Paris. That's ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to count now to Brandon Barringer. With Hunter Stevens on deck, should Barringer safely get on the base path. Stevens, the first of only 2 hits that Sherbinski's allowed in this game. 2-1. That misses low for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike now the count from Sherbinski to Barringer.
And this is only the second time he's had a three-ball count against any batter. He had a full count in the last inning against Garner, who poked it back up the middle, Garner up the middle for a base hit. And now Barringer has 3 balls. So look for him to come back. He's trying to find that strike zone once again.
3-1 misses up high for ball 4, and that is the first walk dealt in this entire game from Colton Sherbinski. It only took until 2 outs in the top of the 5th to have that accomplished. Again, it goes back to the incredible start that he's having, and now we go to Hunter Stevens.
Yeah, and you want to look to see how he'll bounce back from that. You want to shake it off. 2 outs. We said no runner has made it past first base for the Premier West team. Both hitters stranded at first, and now this walk comes with 2 outs. He's looking to be stranded at first. Once Sherbinski's just dealing with 2 outs. A nice, easy ground ball could end this inning.
First pitch catches the zone for strike 1. No. And a strike, the starting count from Sherbinski to Stevens. 1 for 1 with a single right up the middle, and he did that on an 0-1 count, and that's exactly what he has right now. Sherbinski checks the man on first. That's Barringer. Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to first base. Underneath it is Vickers, and he makes the catch on the line, and that is going to end the threat. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on the base path, and to the credit of Teddy for pointing it out, that runner all game long has not left first base. At the end of 4.5 innings, the Hardhats have preserved their 4-0 lead. Back to the sticks they go. Matt Vickers leads off, followed by Eric Petrie and Timmy Paris. We'll be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Your side for 50 years. with thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
When a
Bottom half of the fifth inning now coming to us here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box. This is Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold bringing you all the action of Post 22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. 1340 AM, 105.7 FM, the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats baseball. Now that all of our technical issues are out of the way, we are live on radio and we are also on Post22Live.com. Ben Conant has been very hard at work trying to get these cameras rolling, but he did it. To the credit of his diligence, he got us rolling, and now we are alive and kicking on both streams. The Hardhats come now to the sticks here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Matt Vickers, Eric Petrie, and Timmy Paris set to lead off the offense here for the Hardhats. Matt Vickers comes into this at-bat still with no registered at-bat. He walked the first time he was up, laid down the sacrifice bunt the second time he was up. He's followed by Eric Petrie, who popped out and then had an RBI double, and then Timmy Paris, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Ian Frazier is still on the mound, but we'd also like to point out that there is action in the Premier West bullpen. So we will see just exactly where that takes us through the course of this bottom half of the fifth. Beautiful blue skies, 97 degrees out. I can only imagine what the guys are feeling on the field right now. First pitch from Frazier to Vickers is a swing and a miss for strike one.
Yeah, we get spoiled up here in a nice air-conditioned booth, and if it gets too hot, we can put the windows up so the air will stay in. It's got to be tough for those guys, and I'm not trying to rub it in, but it gets tough when you play in this heat.
0-1 is hit over the head of the second baseman Marquez and hit in the right field for a base hit. So there's Matt Vickers with his first hit of the game. Leadoff man once again is on for the Hardhats to start off an inning, and that is going to bring up Eric Petrie, who, as I mentioned earlier, is 1 for 2, and his lone hit is an RBI double that knocked in Zach Solano back in the bottom half of the third.
And for Matt Vickers, that was his first hit and his first at-bat. He has 3 plate appearances now, but only 1 at-bat. He walked and then sacrificed and then got jumped on that first pitch to get that base hit over there. So Matt Vickers doing a nice job producing in this game and really making this Premier West Cardinals team hurt when he comes up to the plate.
First pitch to Petrie misses up high for ball 1. 1-0 is the count to Petrie, who has Vickers on first with nobody out here in the bottom half of the fifth. Hardhats have a 4-0 lead. Next pitch, a swung on it, hit high in the air to left field, but that is going foul and out of play.
That was out of the park. That was not only out of play. That was that was onto the street, out of the entire stadium. That ball was crushed.
Unbelievable.
That was probably that was the highest and farthest ball that we've seen hit this season. And it's unfortunate that it didn't count. You'd think he might get a little optical illusion because it was so high that it'd be called fair, but just barely foul. So if he gets another pitch that he can turn on, Frazier better be worried about him up there.
1-1 misses low and away for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike now, the count to Eric Petrie. And he is no stranger to hitting the long ball. This season has 2 home runs to his name. And I'm almost positive both of them are multi-run home runs.
Yeah, I believe both of them are actually 3, or one's a 2-run and one's a 3-run home run.
Next pitch is a swing and a miss, up high for strike 2. So Petrie's count now evens to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Timmy Paris patiently awaits on deck. He's also hit a home run as well, and that was a multi-run blast just a few games ago. So Petrie with Vickers on first, nobody out. He's a 2-2 from Frazier, and that catches him looking for strike 3. So unfortunately, Petrie goes down on strikes. That is the 4th strikeout of the game for Frazier in relief. All of them backwards Ks. That's going to bring us to Timmy Paris.
Yeah, that outside part of the plate, you got to adjust to it. We've talked about it. All these backwards Ks are all that outside part of the plate that, at least for my liking, is a little too far outside, but, the umpire's consistently calling him out there. You got to adjust as a hitter.
First pitch to Paris misses low and away for ball one. 1-0 his starting count, and he has Matt Vickers on first base with one out now here in the bottom half of the fifth. So the double play ball is in effect to end this bottom half, should there be a ground ball hit to the infield. Timmy Paris 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. 1-0. Rides up high. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Cam Fees is on deck. 1 for 2 with a double. Also came around to score when he hit that double. That was back in the bottom half of the fourth. Frazier takes a look. Here comes the 2-0. Swung on and missed. And the count will now go to 2 balls and a strike. Paris still ahead, just by a little bit.
A little comparison at how efficient Sherbinski has been. Frazier has thrown 1 2/3 less inning than Sherbinski, and he's only thrown 1 less pitch so far. He's going to match Sherbinski in this inning, so Sherbinski only had 58 pitches, and Frazier just threw his 57th, and it will be his 58th here in this at-bat. So just a little comparison to show how Sherbinski's just mowing down these hitters.
Paris' next ball is hit foul, first base side into the grandstand, so now the count evens to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cam Fees is on deck. Matt Vickers is on first. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth, and the Hardhats still have their 4-0 lead intact. Trying to add yet another run. 2-2. Rides up high for ball 3, and now the count goes full for Paris. Paris looking to get to the base path for the first time in this game. He can do so either with the bat or with this next pitch, with it being a full count.
And this is a second payoff pitch for Frazier. Last time it was an RBI single to Cooper Bowman that he was able to produce.
Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to the left side of the infield. Underneath it at third is LeConte, and he makes the catch. So it's a pop 5 in the scorebook. 2 down now for the Hardhats. Matt Vickers still standing there on first, and that's going to bring us to Cam Fees, who's 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored in this game.
And a stolen base. He's done his part. He went down looking. He was the first strikeout, the first strikeout of the ball game with that backwards K, and then he ripped that grounder down the third base line and got a double out of it. So he's definitely done his part, and he's looking to do the same thing again, get an extra base hit and try and score Vickers here from first.
First pitch to Fees is up high for ball 1. 1-0 starts off his count. Should Fees safely get on the base path, Riley McSherry is on deck. He is 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored, and also a strikeout to his name. Ian Frazier deals the 1-0 to Fees, and that misses the zone low. 2 balls, no strikes to Fees now. Should Fees be the final out of this inning, Colton Sherbinski will face the top of the Premier West order in Marquez, LeConte, and Cook in the top of the 6th. 2-0. Rides up high, ball 3. And now Fees is 1 pitch away from a 4-pitch free trip to first.
And that would only be the second walk of the game for this Premier West pitching staff. Kujawski got the first walk, and Frazier has yet to walk somebody, but 3-0, definitely a hitter's count, and you can think Cam Fees is going to be taking a couple here.
Next pitch rides inside, but it did catch the corner of the plate, so 3 balls and a strike now the count here to Cam Fees. Matt Vickers is still standing on first. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Hardhats have a 4-0 lead. They've played it at 1 run in every single inning so far. 3-1 to Fees. Strike 2 on a check swing, but regardless, that was in the zone. So now Fees went from ahead 3-0 to now a full count scenario. The last time there was a full count pitch, Timmy Paris popped up, and he was the last batter.
Yeah, so payoff pitches, 1 for 2 in this game. Cooper Bowman got a hit, Timmy Paris popped up. So now the rubber match for Cam Fees.
Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air, but that goes foul, out of play behind home, and lands into the concourse. So we will see a second payoff pitch.
Nice battle between these two gentlemen. These pitchers, these hitters, Frazier's really come in and pitched well for his Premier West club. However, post-22 offense has done a nice job exploding and finding a lot more success than they did yesterday. It's still hard, good pitching, but nice job.
3-2 is just fouled. And unable to hang on to that ball was Barringer behind the plate. Had he hung on to the ball, the inning would have ended. That would have been a strikeout. However, the ball dropped, so we will see a third payoff pitch.
Yeah, so Cam Fees gets a new life right there. That was in and out of the glove there of Barringer behind the plate. So Cam Fees understands he kind of got away with one there, and now he gets another try. And Frazier has to throw 4 straight strikes now just to try and get Fees. So Fees definitely has the advantage.
3-2 is ripped into left center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Vickers is going to go ahead and go to third. He is going to hang on and stay with the stop signal. Cam Fees gets a single, and now that puts men on the corners for Riley McSherry coming up, who's 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout, the K of which came in his most recent at-bat.
And I think we'll see Cam Fees heading for second base, trying to put himself in scoring position. He has a lot of speed, and I've watched Barringer's arm after the warm-up in the beginning of each inning, and I think Cam Fees could get it. So I think we're going to see him trying to take off and get himself into scoring position.
So now Frazier will face McSherry for a third time in this game. Fees goes on cue. Throw to second. Doesn't even get to second. Shortstop had to come in and cut off the throw before it hit the dirt coming from that transition from the grass to the dirt at second base. So there is Cam Fees right on cue with his second stolen base of the game. He's now in scoring position, and McSherry looks at an 0-1 count.
And Billy Cook just saved Matt Vickers from coming in. That ball was way off target, and there was no way Marquez was going to be able to make a play. Cook streaking in was able to save that run from being scored.
Next pitch to McSherry misses low, so that's going to even things up at a ball and a strike. McSherry doubled in his first at-bat. Came around to score the second run of the game. That was back in the bottom of the second. Hardhats have plated one in each inning, looking to keep that streak alive. 1-1 to McSherry, misses up high. 2 balls and a strike now the count.
And now Frazier just eclipsed the 70-pitch mark, and we have seen some work in that bullpen, so I don't know if he's going to go much longer. I think they want him to at least get through this inning and then go to that another reliever in the 6th and the 7th, but if he can't get out of this jam, he might be out early.
McSherry tries to drop the bunt down. It gets by the pitcher. It's fielded by LeConte. Throw to first, not in time. It's an RBI bunt single with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The Hardhats now have a 5-0 lead. Nobody saw that hit coming.
Well, Riley McSherry, he's such a good bunter. We talked about he had some troubles in his last at-bat, but LeConte playing deep at third, trying to hold Vickers close to that bag, and, of course, this infield all playing back. McSherry realized that, had a perfect bunt, enough power to get past the pitcher's mound but still stay in that grass. And, of course, their speed, that speed with McSherry, there was no way anyone was going to get him close at first base. And now we might see him go once again to get into scoring position here within the first or second pitch of this at-bat.
And it also looks like the relief appearance of Ian Frazier has come to an end as he just trotted off the field and into the Premier West dugout. So we have a new hurler on the mound, so we'll take a brief recess, gather some thoughts and some numbers on Frazier, and also see just exactly what the Hardhats are going to deal with here on the mound. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, also streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
We have identified the man on the mound for the Premier West Cardinals, and that is the now DH turned pitcher, Gavin Sackett, and he takes over for Ian Frazier, who came in after Nate Kajowski started off only the first inning, and that was it. So Frazier put in a pretty decent amount of work here for his Cardinals club.
Yeah, Frazier went 3 2/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Didn't walk a single batter, struck out 4 on 71 pitches. So, and I think we're going to see Sackett here for the rest of the game. I don't know if they want to burn that many arms. They're already on their 3rd pitcher here today. They don't want to blow through as many arms with another game this evening and then one more tomorrow.
So now here comes Justin Kramer. He is the first batter that Sackett will face. Kramer is 1 for 2. He had an RBI single, and then in the most interesting of circumstances was thrown out on a batter interference play. Tried to lay down a bunt single down the first base line, and the umpires deemed that he made contact with the ball. So he's trying to get a decent hit from the last time he was up, and the first pitch that he sees from Sackett is a strike. No balls and a strike to starting count to Kramer. To his right, 90 feet away from home, he has McSherry on first. To his left, 90 feet away from home on third, he has Cam Fees. Here comes the 0-1. McSherry goes. Next pitch, high and away, and we're not even going to get a throw out of it. So a defensive indifference will allow McSherry to move to second.
And I knew that McSherry was going to try to get himself into scoring position at some point in this at-bat. Said it before that pitching change was made, and it looks like they may not stick with Sackett for the rest of the game. There's some action going on in that bullpen. So a base hit here, though, from Kramer will score both gentlemen. And with so much speed with both these guys, you could a nice little base hit would score both of them. So Kramer's looking to make some contact here and try and extend this lead from 5 to 7.
Next pitch, breaking ball, did not break down into the zone, so that gives Justin Kramer a 2 balls and 1 strike count. Looking for his second hit of the ball game. Already has an RBI under his belt, and with the speed on the base path, he could easily knock in 2 more on another RBI hit. Here comes the 2-1. That misses low and away for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike now the count. Should Kramer hit first safely, we'll go back to the top of the order to Cooper Bowman, who was 1 for 2, hit by a pitch, came around to score, and then the last time he was up, got an RBI single.
And, of course, his 1 home run is a grand slam this season, so he's deadly with those bases loaded.
3-1 misses low, and there is the walk to Justin Kramer. So Kramer on the base path for the second time in 3 plate appearances in this game. And that will load up the bases for Cooper Bowman. And Teddy, with the major foreshadowing points on the line here, Cooper Bowman's only home run of the season is a grand slam that he hit in this part to left.
Well, he's not going to be swinging for the fence. He's going to be swinging for a base hit right now. If he gets a hold of one, though, he could take it out. But right now he just wants a base hit to try and extend this lead for his ball club.
First pitch to Bowman catches the outside part of the plate for strike 1. No balls and a strike to starting count here for Bowman, who was looking for his second hit of the ball game. Hit by a pitch on the very first pitch that he saw, came around to score, flew out to center field, and then had an RBI base hit. Here comes the 0-1. That misses low and away, and Bowman's count quickly evens to a ball and a strike.
This is a big at-bat right here. This, a 5-run game, that's still a big lead, but it's still manageable with 2 innings to go. But a big hit here could ultimately put this game out of reach.
Next pitch catches the zone for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes now that count to Bowman. Gavin Sackett in relief. This is the second batter that he has faced. He's looking to end this bottom half of the 5th. 1-2. Swung on and hit high in the air. That goes to right field. Underneath it is Christian Johnson on the run, and he makes the catch. And that is going to end the bottom half of the 5th. Well, the Hardhats do at least plate 1 more run. That's now 5 innings in a row in which they have scored a run. It's 1 run on the power of 3 hits, no errors, and the bases left loaded. At the end of 5 full innings of play, the Hardhats now have a 5-0 lead over the Premier West Cardinals and now transition back to their defensive positions to the top half of the 6th inning. Colton Chervinsky comes out back on the bump. He will face Miguel Marquez, Jimmy LeConte, and Billy Cook, the top of the Premier West Cardinals batting order. We'll be right back with all of that here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find
5 innings are in the books here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Statistically, across the board for the Premier West Cardinals, it's no runs on 2 hits with 3 errors in the field. For the Post-22 Hardhats, it's 5 runs on 8 hits, not a single blemish defensively. And part of that big goose egg in the error column and in the runs column Well, the errors column for the Hardhats and the runs column for Premier West is just the gem of a performance that Colton Sherbinsky has put on for his Hardhats club today. Absolutely rolling through with 6 strikeouts on the day and 3 innings out of 5 that he's pitched so far. And he's also had 4 out of the 5 innings where he has faced, actually all 5 innings, he has faced a minimum of either 3 or 4 batters. First pitch from Sherbinsky to Miguel Marquez at the top of the order, misses the zone for ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Marquez, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. 1-0 from Sherbinsky. Misses low and away, 2 balls, no strikes.
And also no hitter has made it past first base with Barner getting a hit, Stevens getting a hit, and then Behringer walking, the lone walk from Sherbinsky in this game. So only 3 hitters have managed to make it on base with the first 18 at-bats that Sherbinsky's faced.
2-0 catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1. So figuratively speaking, now Sherbinsky's on the board here on this count. 2 balls and a strike to Miguel Marquez. He's followed by Jimmy LeConte, who's 0 for 2 with a pop-out and a fly-out, and Billy Cook, who's grounded out twice to both sides of the middle infield. 2-1 from Sherbinsky to Marquez is swung on and chopped to short. On the hop, it's Bowman. Gets the stop throw to first in time. 6-3 in the scorebook. Retires Miguel Marquez. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. Here comes the lefty, Jimmy LeConte.
And another point for Sherbinsky's pitching performance. We said how he has those the first 2 innings were 1, 2, 3 innings, and then the next 3, 4 batters were seen. Well, he also went the first and second out before allowing that base runner. So he's been in no trouble at all this game. With these hitters have just been guessing the entire time, and now we'll see if they can maybe figure something out the third time over this lineup. But they're running out of outs. They're down to their final 5 outs of this ball game.
LeConte's first pitch is a strike. No balls and a strike to starting count to LeConte here, who again is 0 for 2 with a pop out to short and a fly out to center field. 0-1. Swung on and fouled. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Can't tell you how many times we've said that today, that Sherbinsky's been ahead 0-2.
Yeah, and just throwing those strikes this is one of these performances. This is one of the best performances we've seen. And it's hard to – it's so hard. Cody Carlson coming off one of the best performances of the season last night, following it up with Sherbinsky this time. I'm sure these Premier West hitters are like, how many pitchers do these guys really have that they can march out against us that are this good? And they just keep coming out and performing for their club.
LeConte fouls off the next pitch, so his count will remain no balls and 2 strikes. Coach Messer in our pregame interview stressed how important this start was, not only for Colton Sherbinsky, but also for Kyle McGuire, and Sherbinsky's really living up to it. 0-2 is swung on and hit high in the air. That's going to shallow center field. Underneath it is McSherry, and he makes the catch, even though he knocks into Cooper Bowman in the process. I don't think there was much communication calling off who was going to catch the ball, but nonetheless, chaos has been averted. 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats defensively on Riley McSherry's catch, and that's going to bring up Billy Cook.
Yeah, that would have been just super unfortunate if that happened to pop out of the glove. A nice job by McSherry holding on to it. And I think that goes back to his wrestling days. He's used to getting run into, and he was able to hold on to it. So crisis averted, and now quickly 2 outs here for Colton Sherbinsky.
First pitch to Billy Cook is low for ball 1. 1-0 starting count to Cook, who's grounded out twice to either side of the middle infield, 6-3 and 4-3. Should he safely get on the base path, though, Tanner Garner is on deck, the center fielder, and he is 1 for 2 with a line out and a single. Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to left. Underneath, it's Cam Fees tracking it, and Fees will make the catch, and that's going to end it. F7 in the scorebook ends the top half of the 6th inning for the 3rd time in this game. It is a 1-2-3 inning for the Hardhats, which means no runs, hits, errors, or any men left on base. Colton Sherbinsky only needed 10 pitches to end that top half of the 6th. We go to the bottom half, where Sam Higgs, Zach Solano, and Matt Vickers are due up for the Hardhats. We'll be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Black Hills State University graduates everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintain
5-0 is still the Hardhats' lead after 5.5 innings of play. If you look at this scoreboard here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium in left center, Premier West has zeros under the first 6 innings in their entries. The Hardhats have ones in each of their innings. They've plated 1 run in every inning they've played so far, and that has given them their 5-0 lead coming into the bottom half of the 6th. This could be their final 3 offensive outs unless the Cardinals just go on an absolute rampage in the top half of the 7th. But the way that Colton Sherbinsky's pitching, good luck.
Yeah, he's only at 68 pitches. His arm is still fresh. Heck, he could maybe pitch in relief the second game with how low his pitch total is. But you're going to see him really coming out, and he wants to get a 1-2-3 inning to close out this game at the top of the 7th. But we got to have this offensive inning first.
Sam Hague showed bunt. First pitch was in the zone for strike 1. Now he swings away, and he hits one through the hole between third and short and into left field for a base hit. So there goes Sam Hague. His first hit of the game was 0 for 2 with a sac bunt and then reached on an error. Now he can reach on a single to lead off the bottom half of the 6th. Leadoff man's on. That's going to bring up Zach Solano.
Yeah, nice job there by Sam Hague. He turned on that pitch, put it in between Cook and LeConte at short and third base. Got on. Leadoff runner is on base now, and that's proven to be very efficient and very good for this Hardhat club as they are always coming across for a run. So Sam Hague, he's looking to continue that trend and get to home and try to get himself in scoring position as that check down's coming over. So they think he might be stealing, but I don't know. I think Sam Hague might be positioned at first there to stay.
Well, the Hardhats have had a lot of action running on the base path. Riley McSherry was allowed to advance to second on a defensive indifference. Cam Fee stole 2 bases. So the Hardhats working very hard when they get on the base path. First pitch to Zach Solano, misses the zone for ball 1, so he starts off with a 1-0 count. Solano looking for his first hit. 6-3 RBI ground out, reached on an error to the third baseman, and then flew out to center. Hague goes, and the next pitch is fouled, so the hit and run clearly in effect there for the Hardhats. The count will even to 1-1 now for Solano.
And we've talked about Solano up to this point. He's such a gifted athlete and a gifted baseball player, so he's still looking for his first hit of the ball game. He does have an RBI and a run scored, and then he flew out to center field in his last at-bat, but he's still looking for that ever-elusive hit that he's been trying to find.
1-1 is fouled off the meshing behind home plate, so now a ball and 2 strikes is his count. Matt Vickers is on deck, just got his first hit of the ball game last time he was up, and that was the leadoff single in the bottom of the 5th. He came around to score when he made it to the base path. Nobody out. Hague is on first here in the bottom of the 6th. Hardhats have a 5-0 lead. 1-2 to Solano, misses low and away, and it skips behind Barringer, and Hague will take advantage of second. So an unfortunate miscue there for the Cardinals, and that will allow Sam Hague to now stand in scoring position. And now Zach Solano has a 2-2 count.
That was a tough one there, and Sam Hague, a nice job paying attention. Now he's in scoring position, and a base hit here from Solano will score him. Well, a lot of speed there from Sam Hague, and so Solano now even more looking to get that base hit and try and extend this lead from 5 runs to 6.
Here comes the 2-2 to Solano. Swung on and hit high in the air. That's going to right center field. And 2 men charging, and the catch is made by Christian Johnson. Looked like for a second either 2 men were going to collide or the ball was just going to drop in front of them, but Johnson on the run makes the catch. So Solano still looking for his first hit of the day. Might have to wait till game 2 for that, depending on how the Hardhats hit in this inning. 1 man down. Hague is still in scoring position on second, and that'll bring up Matt Vickers.
Yeah, just got underneath it. Still trying to find his swing, Solano, but he'll have another shot in the second game and, of course, tomorrow's game. But a young man who's definitely found his swing and leading this team with his average is Matt Vickers, and so he's looking for that big base hit to try and score Sam Hague from second base.
Vickers looks at ball one for his first pitch, and again, Vickers came into this game with the best batting average on the team at 477. Just shy of him with 465 as his batting average is Eric Petrie, and that gentleman's on deck. Next pitch to Vickers is swung on and hit high in the air to right field. Ball has some distance on it, and it is caught on the play by Johnson in right field on the warning track. An unbelievable catch. I still don't know how the heck he did that. But there are now 2 outs. Sam Hague stays on second, so some smart base running from him to not get caught on the tag up, and that's going to bring up Eric Petrie.
I don't think he even thought he was going to catch that ball. He just kind of stuck his glove up there, and I don't know if he's got a magnet in there, but that ball just happened to he just stuck his glove up in the right spot. That's all you can say. It was a nice play out there from Johnson. You don't want to take anything from him, but that was a heck of a hit there from Vickers. He thought that one had a chance to go. His outfielder's playing very deep against a very post-22 team.
Eric Petrie 1 for 3, and his first pitch is in there for strike one. No balls and a strike to starting count to Petrie, who struck out looking the last time he was up. 1 of 4 strikeouts issued from Ian Frazier, who came in relief for Nate Kajowski. Started off this game, only pitched the first inning. Petrie has an RBI double under his belt. 0-1. Almost clipped him inside, and that'll even things at a ball and a strike. That RBI double came in the bottom half of the third when he knocked Zach Solano in to score.
Yeah, now he has Sam Hague, so he could try and trade places with him right here. Get that big double again, and try and extend this lead once again from 5 to 6 and pick up his second RBI of the day.
1-1 misses low and away, but Barringer makes the stop. 2 balls and a strike now the count to Eric Petrie, and should he safely get on the base path, Timmy Paris is on deck. 0 for 3, still looking for his first hit of the day. So Petrie now with a 2-1 count against Gavin Sackett, the third pitcher Premier West has put out on the mound against the Hardhats. 2-1 is fouled directly behind home plate, just missed the meshing, and had that not clipped the meshing, Teddy, I'd have had a play on that.
It's going to you. I was all excited. I was smiling, and then I remembered these windows were up, so I got a little depressed over there. But the meshing clipped it on the top there, did its job, and kept it in the field of play. And now Petrie still with the 2 out with 2 strikes, looking for a shortened up swing.
2-2 is swung on and hit high in the air to left. Underneath it is Stevens as 3 men try to chase the ball, but it goes foul and out of play. And the count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That just looked like it was going to be a routine fly ball to left, and then all of a sudden a nice gust of wind came in, and, well, there it is.
Yeah, that wind is brutal. We said it picked up right about game time. The wind just absolutely came out of nowhere, and so it kind of surprised me out there. It's now 19-mile-an-hour wind from right to left field, so it definitely picked up. And I think it actually calmed down a little bit from the start of the game, but Petrie just had that ball carry a little too much in the air, or else that would have been a perfect hit to score Sam Hague.
19-mile-an-hour winds. Teddy Leipold, the 23-year-old aspiring sports broadcaster and amateur meteorologist. I like it.
Yeah, well, 9-mile visibility. Feels like 95 out there. I can keep going with this.
Wow.
These I can't take all the credit. My iPhone definitely helps me with my meteorology report.
2-2 is absolutely destroyed to left field, but it just goes foul and out of the park again. It's only a matter of time as the count remains 2-2. It's only a matter of time before Petrie's going to make fair ball contact on one and just send it out of here.
Yeah, that's 2 home runs he's hit foul today in his last 2 at-bats, and that's tough. That's tough to swallow, so like you said, it is a matter of time before he keeps one fair and makes these pitchers pay.
2-2 is swung and hit hard in the air to left center field. Ball has some distance on it. It is high and it is far, and it goes all the way off the wall. Hague is going to score from second. Petrie's looking for 3. The throw to third is not in time. It's an RBI triple for Eric Petrie. The Hardhats now have a 6-0 lead here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
I thought we were going to see it on that pitch. I was pointing. I thought it was going to be out here. If he would have pulled that a little bit down the line, it would have been. But what a hit right there. Hit it to one of the deepest parts of the park and got a triple. That's his second extra base hit of this game. He's now 2 for 4 with an RBI triple and an RBI double. He's definitely helping this Hardhat club. And with 2 outs here, Timmy Paris could drive him in from third. That was huge, putting himself in scoring position.
First pitch to Paris is swung on and hit high in the air to right field. Ball has some distance, however, it goes foul and just shy of the fence out there to the right side of Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. So no balls and a strike to starting count here to Timmy Paris who popped out to third the last time he was up. That was back in the bottom of the fifth. Overall in the game, he's 0 for 3 with a strikeout.
I tell you what, with Solano slumping, Eric Petrie has really stepped up huge. He's driven in a lot of runs, got a lot of extra base hits, and with one of your hitters slumping, your other good hitters and your other great hitters have to step up, and that's what Petrie's done. He's done a heck of a job in that batter's box, and you got to like what you're seeing from him and his swing.
Ball and a strike now they count as Paris looked at the next one inside. 1-1 is swung on and it's chopped to third. Stops made on the play by LeConte on the hop throw to first is in time, and that will end the bottom half of the sixth inning. For a sixth inning in a row, the Hardhats plate a run. It's 1 run on the power of 2 hits, no errors, and a man left on the base path, and that was Eric Petrie, 90 feet away from scoring. And at the end of 6 full innings, the Hardhats, with 1 run in each inning, now have a 6-0 lead over the Premier West Cardinals. Colton Sherbinsky hoping to end this gem of what has been just an unbelievable start for him. He will face 4, 5, and 6 in the order. Tanner Garner, Christian Johnson, and Gavin Sackett, the DH now turned pitcher. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City. Also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who'll help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from
6 full innings in the books, and the Post 22 Hardhats are 3 defensive outs away from their 15th straight win. Statistically across the board, for the Premier West Cardinals, it's no runs on 2 hits with 3 errors in the field. For the Hardhats, it's 6 runs on 9 hits, not a single blemish defensively. You look at the box score from last night. Premier West went no runs on 3 hits with 4 errors. The Hardhats 2 runs on 4 hits with 1 error. It's been a much different game. And to be quite honest with you, Teddy, Colton Sherbinsky's really powered this club. The offense has done its job, but you have to feel that the offense has taken something off the energy he's established.
Yeah, and it really feeds off how Sherbinsky's been performing out on the mound. Of course, and also Sherbinsky feeds off what the offense is doing. So both are producing well. This is one of those games that you look back on, and this is one of those you say, hey, this is how you can play against a very good team. This is what we can do as a team. I talk about all the time. You want to reach that 10-hit mark in a game, then that's almost a victory right then and there. And they're at 9. That's what you like to see. And then Sherbinsky just absolutely on fire right now on the mound, and he's looking to close this game out strong here with the final 3 outs of this game.
His first pitch to Tanner Garner misses low and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Garner, who has one of the only 2 hits on Sherbinsky, and that came in his last at-bat in the top of the 4th. He had a single, but didn't move anywhere further than first base. 1-0. Catches the outside part of the plate, and there's strike 1. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Sherbinsky's going to face Tanner Garner right now with a 1-1 count, followed by Christian Johnson, who struck out both times he's been up, and then Gavin Sackett, who struck out once. He's also 0 for 2. 1-1 from Sherbinsky to Garner. Swung on and hit high in the air. Foul territory, third base side, and Kramer's going to watch it go out of play, and the count will now go to a ball and 2 strikes. Tanner Garner, the center fielder, with a ball and 2 strikes on his count. Colton Sherbinsky's looking for K number 7 in this start. He hasn't struck out a batter since the top half of the 4th. Credit to his defense. When they've had the ball hit to them, they've been on fire.
Yeah, and a lot of these haven't even left the infield. I think by my count, 2 balls have left the infield besides those 2 base hits. So credit to his infield, a little bit to the outfield. I don't want to take away from them, but we'll credit this infield. Been doing a heck of a job against or backing up Colton Sherbinsky.
Next pitch missed low. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count from Sherbinsky to Garner. Sherbinsky is looking for the sign from Timmy Paris, who to what Teddy mentioned earlier is called just an unbelievable game for Sherbinsky. 2-2. Swung on and hit to third by a diving Justin Kramer and into left for a base hit. Rounding first and going to second On the play is Garner, and Garner just barely is safe. Riley McSherry almost tagged him out, and that is the first extra base hit of the day for the Premier West Cardinals, and it's Tanner Garner on second base with the leadoff double.
I thought McSherry might have had him there. He dove after him, and I think Garner just had that head-first slide, got outstretched, and just beat that tag barely. But that's the only the third hit allowed there by Sherbinski in this game. And now comes Johnson, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So you gotta think it's in favor of Sherbinski at this point.
First pitch to Christian Johnson's a curveball in there for strike one. No balls to strike the count to Johnson, who has struck out every single time he's been up. He was strikeouts number 2 and the most recent strikeout for Sherbinski at number 6. Man on second, no one out here in the top of the 7th. Sherbinski's trying to end what's been an unbelievable start. 0-1, swung on and chopped but foul third base side. And Johnson, for the third time in as many at-bats, is behind with a 2-strike count, and this one's 0 for 2.
Yeah, his first at bat, 0 for 2, strikeout. Second at bat, 1 and 2, strikeout. Now 0 and 2. Well, I almost said it, but yeah, you can't quite go too far yet. But look for this curveball to be coming out once again. It seems like Johnson just can't locate it in all his previous at bats. And earlier in this at-bat, he just can't locate it. So I think Sherbinski is going to go back to it, and I think Timmy Paris recognized that as well.
No balls, 2 strikes the count. Sherbinski checks the man on second, deals, swung on him, popped up. That comes to shallow left. Underneath, it's Bowman from shortstop, and he makes the catch. That ball took a crazy trajectory as Bowman looked like he was dancing to try and get his footing set to make the catch. Pop 6 in the book, 1 down, still with that man on second in Tanner Garner, and that's going to bring up Gavin Sackett, the DH now turned pitcher.
Yeah, those high pop-ups in the infield, those are actually pretty tough to judge. They're supposed to be routine, but there's so much spin on them. That ball almost dances like a knuckleball up there, but it's the opposite because a knuckleball has no spin. But these pitches have so much spin that it drifts back and forth, and those wind gusts don't help. But it was a nice job Cooper Bowman did to locate that ball and make a good play for that first out.
First pitch to Gavin Sackett is a swing and a miss for strike one. He starts off with an 0-1 count and comes into this at-bat 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out in his first at-bat and then grounded out to Matt Vickers unassisted at first. Tanner Garner still standing on second with that leadoff double. No balls and a strike to count from Sherbinski. Checks the runner, and the 0-1 is swung on and popped up, but that goes foul and out of play third base side, and the count quickly balloons to 0-2.
Sherbinski is he's a little mad that he gave up that double at the first batter to Garner here, so he's taking it out on Johnson and Sackett right now. And 3 straight pitches got Johnson out. He's looking to do the same here to Sackett and get this big second out. If he can get this second out at the plate or just like he did to Johnson, if he can keep it in the infield and not allow Garner to advance, that'll be a win. And you can almost forget about him and just go after McCann, who's in the on-deck circle.
No balls, 2 strikes the count. Sherbinski checks Garner at second. He takes a slight lead towards third. 0-2. Rides up high. Ball and 2 strikes now the count to Gavin Sackett. Barrick McCann, as Teddy mentioned, is on deck. 0 for 2, also with a strikeout under his belt and a ground out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sherbinski's looking for a 7th strikeout. Checks Garner. Here's the 1-2. Up high. Did he go? And they are not saying that he went. That was a check swing from Sackett, and the count evens to 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was tough. He barely pulled back. Thought he might have crossed the plane right there, but, those Blues get the call. 2-2. Now you got to go after him here, and this wind is picking up even harder right now. It's gusting pretty good. It's blowing the hats off some of the fans in the grandstands here. And so this is going to be tough for Sherbinski to pitch in, but he has only got a couple left.
2-2 rides up high for ball 3, so now the count goes full. And that, I believe, is only the second time in this game that Sherbinski's had a full count pitch.
Yeah, Sherbinski, like I said in that first one, he stayed away from it. You have to throw a minimum of 6 pitches in it at bat if you get to a full count. So he's done a nice job keeping his pitch count low, about to throw his 82nd pitch of this game, and he's kept it low because he stayed away from these full counts.
Payoff pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to left center field. Solano's tracking underneath it, and that ball goes all the way to the wall and takes a hop. Solano fields it at the warning track, throws it into Cooper Bowman, and scoring from second is Tanner Garner. Unfortunately, the shutout is no more, and with an RBI double, Gavin Sackett has given Premier West their first run of the entire weekend. They still trail 6-1 with one out here in the top of the seventh.
Yeah, and that still doesn't take away anything that Sherbensky has done on the mound. Of course, his arm's getting a little tired, but with the 6-1 lead, he's going to be able to go the distance unless they can string together a couple hits back to back to back. So we'll still see him here. He's going to go after McCann and try and get this game over with 2 outs to go here in the top of the seventh.
First pitch from Sherbensky to McCann just misses. Ball and no strikes to starting count to McCann, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He was the 4th strikeout out of 6 that Sherbensky has issued in this game. He was also the 3rd of 4 consecutive Sherbensky issued between the top of the second and the top of the third. Barrick McCann up right now with a 1-0 count. On deck is Brandon Barringer. He struck out and then walked the last time he was up. Standing on second with an RBI doubles, Gavin Sackett. 1-0 rides up high. 2 balls, no strikes from Sherbensky to McCann.
And hopefully we'll see him for the rest of the game. He's about to throw his 85th pitch, and his arm might be getting a little tired. We know he can definitely go the distance. We've seen him do it. He's hit, I think he's hit high 90s. I don't think we've seen him hit 100 pitches yet this season. I think Cody Carlson is the only one to eclipse that mark, but we know he can definitely get up there, and he's looking to just needs to bear down, throw strikes. He understands his defense been so good behind him this whole game, so he needs to throw strikes, let them do their job, and get out of this with the final 2 outs get the final 2 outs at the plate and on deck.
So after a brief conference with Timmy Paris, Sherbensky's back to it. 2-0 rides up high for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes the count from Sherbensky to Barrick McCann. Sherbensky 1 pitch away from issuing what would only be his 2nd walk in this start. On second with the RBI doubles, Gavin Sackett. At the plate right now, 3-0 is McCann. Pitch comes in, and that's good enough for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike now, the count to McCann. Hardhats have a 6-1 lead over the Premier West Cardinals. That run that Premier West just scored was their first of only 2 games played so far. They were blanked 2-0 last night. 3-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. And now Sherbensky's battled back from behind 3-0 to another full count payoff pitch.
Yeah, and this is a big one right here. You don't want to allow McCann to get on base. You want to get him at the plate here. You don't want to see him put it in play. And Sherbensky's already done that once this game. But even if you do put him on base, that double play ball would end the inning. So it's a kind of a win. It's kind of not necessarily a loss here.
Well, that ball rides up high and inside for ball 4, so Sherbensky issues only his 2nd walk of the day. And now it looks like Jason Hers is going to come out and have a quick chat with number 25 on the mound for the Hardhats. So now Brandon Barringer, the catcher, comes up, and he has Barrick McCann on first and Gavin Sackett on second. Still 1 out here in the top half of the 7th. And like you said, Teddy, that's really not much of a loss because now that puts the double play ball in effect to end the inning. So here's hoping that if Sherbensky can't get this next out at the plate for out number 2, it's just a routine ground ball up the middle, and we take a break and get set for game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't have to worry about the sack bunt, of course. You can't trade an out right here with only 2 to go in this game and down 5 runs. So, of course, Barringer's going to be swinging away, and this middle infield's so good at turning this double play. Now, if you're Sherbensky, you just got to throw strikes.
Sherbensky checks both runners and deals his first pitch to Barringer, and that's low for ball 1. Paris gets the block in front, so nobody advances on the low ball. 1 ball, no strikes the count here to Barringer, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. He was the first of only 2 walks that Sherbensky has issued in this game. 6 strikeouts to 2 walks is a very impressive ratio. 3-1. Here comes the 1-0. And that catches the zone. The low corner for strike one. Ball and a strike now the count from Sherbinski to Barringer. And should a double play not end this game, Hunter Stevens is on deck. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Men on first and second, Sherbinski has to worry about. Here comes the 1-1. That catches the zone. Low corner for strike two. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. Sherbinski's 1 pitch away from K number 7.
Yeah, and the fact that Sherbinski can continue to hit that low outside corner is just devastating to these hitters. They're either hitting weak ground balls up to middle infield to either Riley McSherry or Cooper Bowman, or they're swinging right over top of that pitch. It's just devastating, this lineup today.
1-2. Swung on and hit high in the air to left. Underneath it is Fees. Fees locates it and he makes the catch. Nobody advances from either first or second. That is now 2 outs. Here in the top half of the 7th, and quite possibly the final out of this first ball game out of 2 to be played today, is Hunter Stevens with men on first and second, and now 2 outs with his team trailing by 5.
That's exactly what you needed, an easy pop-up. Fees came in to shallow left, held both runners. There was no way they were going to advance on it. Now with 2 outs, you can almost forget about the runners. Just go after Hunter Stevens and get this final out by any means necessary and try and get this game done in the books and move on to the second of this doubleheader.
First pitch is a breaking ball that catches the inside part of the plate for strike one. No balls and a strike to starting count here to Hunter Stevens. Stevens 1 for 2 on the day. He was the first of only 4 hits allowed by Sherbinski in this start. And of those 4 hits, 2 of them were issued in this inning. Next pitch misses outside. Ball and a strike now the count to Stevens here. I mean, Sherbinski was rolling. It still is rolling. But in those early innings, nobody could touch anything he was throwing.
Well, you can't even discredit this one run that's come across in the 7th. When you're up over 80 pitches, your arm is tired. You're losing some zip on your ball. Not a whole lot, a couple miles an hour. But that makes a huge difference because you not only are you losing that zip, you also lose a little bit of that movement. And so the fact that they got 1 is they were just lucky for that fact in general. And then a couple hits this inning. It's still Sherbinski's still pitching an absolute gem of a game here.
Stevens fouls off his next pitch down the first baseline. So now his count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Sherbinski's 1 pitch away from ending this game in what has been just an absolutely insane start for him. This will be his 3rd win. Also his 3rd win by virtue of a complete game, too.
But this is also his most impressive against a very good team, and he also only issued 2 walks.
1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that's going to do it. K number 7 in the book for Colton Sherbinski ends the ball game, and the Hardhats take 2 out of 2 played so far out of 4 to be played this weekend against the Cardinals from Premier West in Denver, Colorado. 6-1 the final score after 6.5 innings.
It was just absolutely amazing. That was awesome to watch. It was a good game all around, offense, defense, fielding. This was a complete game for this Hardhat club, and it showed 6-1 on the scoreboard. There's not much you can take away from this game that they did wrong, and there's not much that you want to improve upon. If they play like this day in and day out, this is going to be a team so hard to beat. They're already hard to beat, but this was a complete game for these boys down there.
Final summary here for that top half of the 7th. It was 1 run on 2 hits with no errors and 2 men left on the base path, one of which was in scoring position. 6.5 innings of regulation in the books. We don't need a bottom half of the 7th. Once again, final score, 6-1. The Hardhats take the win. Teddy and I will take a quick recess to gather some thoughts and tabulate some statistics. We'll have his MVP. We'll have my stat of the day in just a few moments and gear up for a brief rest before Game 2 of this doubleheader starts. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Ericks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Ericks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing.
Post-22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Radio. Rapid City is presented in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box by Sound Pro, the Physical Therapy Center, courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. Statistically, across the board, after 6.5 innings of regulation play, the Hardhats take the win. For the Premier West Cardinals from Denver, Colorado, it was one run on 4 hits, 3 errors in the field. For the Post-22 Hardhats, it was 6 runs on 9 hits, not a single blemish defensively. And for the Hardhats, they scored 6 runs in 6 innings, exactly scoring 1 in all 6 that they took to the batter's box. Once again, thank you so much for joining us here inside Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium for the first of 2 games in this doubleheader. Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth for all the festivities this weekend and for the whole season on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and on Post22Live.com. Teddy, win number 15 in a row for this Hardhats club, win number 2 in 2 games against the Premier West Cardinals. This was supposed to be the toughest test of the season for the Hardhats, and it has proven to be so. Premier West is an unbelievable team, as we've seen through 2 games. But through 2 games, they've only plated 1 run. It's because this Hardhats pitching has just been on fire.
Yeah, this pitching staff, Cody Carlson had a complete game, 3-hit shutout, 11 strikeouts on 110 pitches, and then Sherbinski had a complete game, 4-hit, 1-run game with 7 strikeouts against them in the second game. So this pitching is just so hard to hit. These 2 pitchers are amazing, and I think these next 2 games are going to be a little more offensively potent. But I said that last night too. So after Cody's game, so we'll see. I could be completely wrong, but this pitching has just been phenomenal, and it just shows how deep this pitching staff is and how many arms that Post-22 has, that they can march out every time and make it a quality game for on that mound.
Well, you take a look at last night. All the action, scoring-wise, that is, only happened in the bottom half of the first. The Hardhats won the game 2-0. Both of the runs came in that bottom of the first. 1 runner reached on an error. The other one was knocked in by Eric Petrie, the lone RBI in the contest. The lone RBI hit, rather, I should say. And then tonight, it's completely different. 1 run in all 6 innings that the Hardhats batted in to give them 6 to the 1 run of the Premier West Cardinals, and that run came in the top half of the 7th inning after Colton Straczynski started off and finished what was a gem of a start that Coach Messer and Colton himself really needed.
Yeah, this is going to give Colton so much confidence, and it's going to give the coaching staff's confidence in Colton. And like you said, it took all the way through the 7th inning and 84-plus pitches before that run was plated. I mean, Garner started off with a double and 2 doubles in that inning. Half of Premier West hits. They had 4 on the game, and 2 of them came in that 7th, and they were 2 doubles. That allowed for that run to be pushed across. And it's unfortunate that Colton didn't get that shutout because he really deserved it. This lineup did not know what to do with him. He was just mowing them down as fast as they came up to the batter's box, and he pitched one heck of a game. This is by far the best start he's had of a season, and he gets his 3rd win in his 3rd complete game. So Colton's definitely here to stay in the starting rotation, and he's answered any questions that this coaching staff or the fans have about him in this game, and he's really answered the questions and left no doubters.
6 RBI hits from 6 different batters in this game. Zach Solano, the first one in the bottom of the 1st. Justin Kramer, RBI single in the bottom of the 2nd. Then you go to the bottom of the 3rd. Eric Petrie, an RBI double. To the bottom of the 4th, Cooper Bowman, an RBI single. Then you go to the bottom of the 5th, and it's Riley McSherry with an RBI bunt single. And then you go to the bottom of the 6th, and it's Eric Petrie once again. So rather 5 different hitters with 6 RBI hits. Still, nonetheless, everybody in the order did what they needed to do to get the Hardhats the win.
Yeah, it was real good. And Eric Petrie, we touched on it during the game. He stepped up huge for this team, and he now has 3 RBIs in 2 games for this club. And some of these hitters struggling, and he's picking up the slack that's left behind. And he's leading this team right now offensively. Him and Matt Vickers, these 2 gentlemen, their bats are absolutely on fire, and they're leading the way for this offense. And you got to like what you see out of them.
So we go to the most valuable player portion of this broadcast, and I think once again it's pretty obvious, but formality's formality. Who is it?
Yeah, you can't you can't really give it to anyone other than Colton Straczynski. Went 7 innings pitched, allowed 4 runs, 1 run earned, and walked 2, struck out 7. And on 96 pitches, and 26 of those pitches came in that final inning. So it was something. He saw 6 batters in that inning, and up to that point, he saw no more than 4. So he had 3 innings in this game, and he was just efficient. His stat line isn't necessarily as monstrous as Cody Carlson, but it was just equally as good of a performance because it was so hard to hit him. They were hitting weak ground balls, couldn't even get it out of the infield, barely got it to the outfield. So Colton Straczynski really showed his stuff and really made this lineup have troubles. And really just think, are they going to ever be able to hit any of these pitchers that Post 22 trots out?
Exactly. I mean, it's incredible how deep this pitching staff is. My stat of the day, I was going to go with 1, so I guess we'll recap what pitching has done so far for the Hardhats in the 2 games played. Cody Carlson and Colton Straczynski have combined for 18 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 earned run on 7 hits. But I want to go back to a key that Coach Messer really stressed last weekend with his pitchers, is that he wants them to throw strikes. Out of the 96 pitches that Colton Straczynski threw, 69 of them were strikes to 27 balls. Absolutely incredible how efficient he was with that strike zone.
Yeah, it was something else, and ever since Coach Messer and this coaching staff started challenging these pitchers to throw strikes, they've answered the bell, and they've done a real nice job coming up and doing a nice job throwing strikes, finding the zone, and you hope that can continue because now you're getting into the portion where you're going to play a lot of tough opponents, and you're going to have to throw strikes if you want to win those games.
71.875% of his pitches today were strikes. Great job for Colton Straczynski. He is Teddy's MVP, and he also helps play into my stat of the day. A gem of a start, and that'll set the table for Game 2 of this doubleheader to be played between the Premier West Cardinals and your Post 22 Hardhats. That'll come up in just a few moments, so we'll kick you back to normal ESPN programming, and we will be back with our second game of the day as the Hardhats look to win now 16 straight and keep Premier West off the win column in this head-to-head series this weekend. For all of us here with the Post 22 Hard Hats, once again, a special thanks to Ben Connor, to the Sports Ticket, and to Teddy Leipold for all of his contributions. We'll be back in just a few moments here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hard Hats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.